lunch has been long overdue and very, very much needed. Actually, I think every senior that walked past me pretty much said the same thing to me. And I wish I could take credit for this, but it's not all me. In fact, this is the brainchild of Dr. Mercy Deche. Yes. Our newly sworn in judge, Honorable Benjamin Joroge, and our ancestor, Nyabena. Council has also taken part in the planning of this particular event, and I'm so grateful for them for standing together with us. I'd like to take a minute just to appreciate our organizing secretary, Cynthia Mutune. She has worked hard. She was assisted by a fellow, one of our advocates, younger advocates called Nabiha Saif. I don't think she's here yet, but when she does come in, we will introduce her. I think I can safely say that they have successfully brought this event to life and has gotten a good number of seniors present here today. Just so you know, you can see there's videographers and there's photographers, so please let's make lots of memories, take lots of pictures. In 5 years, 10 years' time, this is what we'll be posting on MLS WhatsApp group again. Thank you once again, and I do hope you enjoy yourselves. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Natasha, Chairperson. And I want to invite Michael Ngure, the Vice Chairperson, to introduce the main sponsors of the event.
Thank you so much. In my later years, I would wish to be a senior advocate. I'm not that young because having been admitted in 2010, 14 years, I'm only 6 years shy of clocking 20. I'm humbled being before you this afternoon, and I wish to recognize each and every one of you because without you, we would not have made this event a success. You all contributed towards the success of this event, and God bless you so much. And together with that, we collaborated with Absa Bank, being represented by Elizabeth Katethia. We also collaborated with DIB Bank. This is Dubai Islamic Bank, being represented by James Induli. And we also have LSK Sacco amongst us. They've all set their tables out there. It's good that we pass by and see what products they have for us. Apart from the 3 sponsors, we have our one and only. The name may not ring a bell, but we all know him because he's called One Samson. Who knows One Samson? This is Commissioner Samson Omwanza Ombati. And I was wondering why previously we had Masharia Njeru, and now Omwanza Ombati. When Omwanza came to my office, I asked for his Christian name, and he told me, don't worry about it. My name is Omwanza Ombati. And later on, I had to search, and I saw that you are Samson. In my later years, I think it's a qualification to be a commissioner. Now, from now henceforth, my name is Kienjeku Ngure. Thank you so much. Asante sana, Job.
Okay, thank you very much, Michael. And now we'll be proceeding to lunch. We will go and serve at the buffet. So we'll start with the tables. I'll give the direction so that you can pick the amount that is good enough for you and what you want, as opposed to it being brought to you. So I think we'll start with the seniors at the end, Ashwin and Kishore. this point, I just want to invite Dr. Deche, Mercy, to just come and give us the agenda and purpose of this gathering.
Good afternoon. Ukata ukiongea utakuja na mzazi. It's so good to be here. I'm a student of literature, and I learned this excerpt from Things Fall Apart, that when a man, and I bet a woman for that matter, invites his kinsmen to a feast, it is not to save them from starvation. They already have enough food in their homes. And when we gather together under the village moonlit, in the village moonlit ground, something of the sort, it is not because of the moon, because every man can see the moon in his compound. And then he goes on to say that kinsmen gather together, and I'm aware we are not kinsmen, only maybe unless we are Benja and the brother. Kinsmen gather together because it is the right thing for them to do. I've been asked to say why we are here, set the agenda, and that's all I can say. That we are here because it is the right thing for us to do, together as colleagues. I was shocked when Natasha said that this was my idea. By the way, I'm not aware that it was my idea. Maybe I'm growing old. But anyway, if you give me credit, I receive it. But going by what Chinua Achebe was saying, we are not here for the food. This is not a food security initiative. Nobody is starving. I know you can all have, you all have food in your houses. The other day I passed by Anna Madi's village home in Kitale. I was going for a funeral, and the worker chinjad for me a jogo, and Anne was not there. By the way, that was he started the process at 11 a.m. I ate it at 1 a.m. So I can confirm that we are not vulnerable when it comes to food. We are also not here, Omwanza, to see the sea. Maybe you came here to see the sea. But most of us just walk along the beaches. Okata does that every morning, and Ouma. So we are not here to see the sea. We are just here to gather, to recall memories, old memories, and create new ones. We are here just to gather and thank God and thank each other. We have a lot to thank God and thank each other for. I remember, for instance, those of us who practiced in the days of Angawa, there was a problem called being pregnant while appearing before Angawa. You did not know whether to obey the pregnancy or obey Angawa's dress code. And I remember Modoni Gatere coming to my house with a basket, not a basket, a bag full of maternity, compliant maternity dresses. And that is what I wore. I also remember a lot of times I would go to Mrs. Goodcar's office and sit, because I was only 4 years in practice and I was heading a litigation department in a big law firm. And I did not know how to prepare pleadings. And Mrs. Goodcar would really sit down with me and help me prepare good pleadings. So we are here to thank each other, to thank God. It's a very bad habit that we have as Africans, of thanking each other and praising each other when we are gone. But please, if you have anything to tell me, you tell me today. And I believe this is just the beginning of many other subsequent meetings that we are going to have. We are also here to honor our seniors. It is a very good and African thing to do. And I am saying this because honor has become scarce. Honoring the seniors. And I know I'm preaching to the converted, but there is this thing of you should deserve respect and honor. No, there is something we call a natural pecking order. A natural pecking order. However much I may have, I have a PhD in law, hallelujah, But there is no way I will ever be in some spaces higher or greater than Gikandi. That's the point at which you clap. And that is when, because I am not, I can say this from this podium. Young lawyers who are here, you can spread the word. Most of us are over 20. Let us respect our seniors. We are here to respect those who have been there ahead of us. Let us learn to respect our seniors. By the way, can I tell you a secret? You go nowhere. You get nowhere with a bad attitude, especially the one that has to involve disrespect. So we are here to honor you and respect you and thank you. Those who are on the high table, those of others who are stashed in here, and to tell you that we really regard highly what you have done and the impact you have left in Mombasa Law Society. I believe now you know why we are here. We are not here because of we are hungry, and we are not here to see the ocean. And I believe that this is going to be the beginning of many other such gatherings. Thank you very much. Job was my classmate. What does that tell you about the class of 91? We are great.
Thank you very much, Mercy. Yes, it's always good to have classmates. I think you've seen situations when people have been unable to demonstrate that they went to particular schools. So just picking up from where Mercy left, you can have a function, but if guests don't come, then it loses the flavor. And again, if you don't have guests in your function and you're just dealing amongst yourselves, again, it loses the flavor. So we have a few guests who are here, not because they're senior advocates, but because of capacities that they hold elsewhere, and just recognize them and just to just ask them to say hello, then we can proceed. I would like to ask, of course, Omwanza. I know you have been you've been through us many times looking for the votes, but just to say hi now in your new capacity.
Good afternoon, colleagues. First, I would want to recognize the senior bar, the small senior bar that is seated at the high table. Thank you very much for your service to the Mombasa Law Society and to the Law Society fraternity. Judges, Justice Odunga, Justice Sewe, the new kid on the block, my sister, Mercy, my big sister, my other sister there, Anne, and everybody else who is here. It's always a great pleasure to come and share, particularly when you're not campaigning. And there's no pressure to say anything except just to have a meal and be glad. And Mercy, I think Chinua Achebe borrowed that quote from the Bible. Actually, there is a psalm that says how good it is for brothers to share. It's like the oil of Aaron. I think something like that, isn't it? Yeah, so it's borrowed from there. I can see my good friend there that we started with. Please wave. You are shy. Okay. Thank you very much. I was summoned to come to Mombasa to come and share with by the chair, Natasha. And I remember on Tuesday she told me, Omwanza, you must appear. So I had, because she's also my boss. You know, I'm a representative. I am not I'm a commissioner representing. So when I was summoned, I said I had to appear. And it's glad to come. I'm glad to come here. I thank you all for supporting me to represent you as your commissioner at the Judicial Service Commission. You'll always have a voice in that commission as advocates. And you're going to have a very loud voice and obviously respectful voice, but a voice nevertheless that represents you and your interest at the commission beyond obviously also representing the public. So I'm happy to come here and share a meal and see very many friends in a relaxed atmosphere without asking for anything, but just sharing a meal. Asante sana, and let us all enjoy and honor our seniors.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. Just want also to invite Justice Olga Sewe just to say hello and say a few words. Let's appreciate her as she comes forward, please. Thank you.
Thank you. The chairperson of MLS and the ancestors in the room, the senior bar, Justice of Appeal, Justice Odunga, Commissioner, and my colleague, the new kid on the block, Justice Njoroge, ladies and gentlemen, the Chief Magistrate recognized. Good afternoon. I feel honored to be here to join you at this luncheon. Sitting there, listening to those who have already spoken, it just underscores the fact that MLS is very special. You know, you do things your own way, in a different way, and in ways that reflect distinction. And so, thank you very much for organizing this to recognize the senior members of the society. I'd like to also take this opportunity to congratulate Commissioner Omwanza on your appointment as JSC representative. Congratulate your, do you continue to be an ancestor? Justice Njoroge. Welcome aboard MV High Court. Karibu sana. And as Commissioner was whispering, they've been deployed to make a difference, to do something that has not been done before, and we're waiting to see how that will pan out. But waiting with anticipation because we know this is going to help us. There was a time when in Mombasa we had the dubious distinction of having the highest backlog of 8,000. And that was around the time we joined with Justice Mativo, around 2021. And so, glad to report that right now, because most of it was dead data, so we cleaned up the data, did audit, and now we have under 3,000 files. Under 3,000 files pending. And so we believe that after they've swept Nairobi, if there's anything left for Mombasa, they'll definitely come down to help us with those very old cases. Perhaps I need just to mention, because of this audience, politicians take good advantage of this, and may I emulate them, that please acquaint yourself with the practice directions for the High Court, acquaint yourself with the CJ's directions on virtual proceedings, and above all, just to let you know that, and I know most of you know this, we have performance contracting, performance management and measures, so that you input into what we do. We cannot excel if those submissions don't come in time, if the cases are not handled in an expeditious manner. So delays are being taken care of. The introduction of the CTS and e-filing have greatly improved our services, and we know that it's only going to get better. So with your support, we will be number one in not so far future. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Judge. Now, I had asked the Chief Magistrate whether I should ask him to speak or not, but he said no, but since we are both of us here, let one of us speak. The judge has spoken, so that represents that side of the court. And I want to invite the Judge, Court of Appeal, Justice Odunga, just to pass your regards And then now we can go to the agenda of the day. Thank you, Judge.
Good afternoon. Permit me to adopt the protocol that has been well said by my sister, Judge Sewe. When I saw the letter inviting me for this particular occasion, I didn't see anywhere where I was supposed to give a speech. So the only thing that I carried with me was my stomach. And when you are invited to go and eat, you don't say too much, because you may annoy the people who have invited you, and they may never invite you again for such occasions. So mine is simply thank you very much for organizing this kind of a function. I think you need to do this more often, it's particularly now that people just okay. Particularly now that people only talk to screens. So it's better if you get an opportunity, more opportunities like this one, so that we are able to interact. The members, the senior members, the young members of the bar, we learn from one another. Whether you are senior or you are a junior, we always learn, because we always live and learn. So I think we should always continue to interact with one another in this particular practice. I won't say much apart from to urge you to embrace mediation as much as possible. The members of the bar, please try to be accredited as mediators so that you can take mediation. Mediation is the way to go. Litigation is tedious and has a lot of problems. So please embrace mediation, and I think let us move together. The last time that I talked about mediation, I was representing the Law Society in the Rules Committee, and I remember Mr. Nyabena threatening me that if I continue on that particular route, then I was going to be disciplined by the Law Society. But I believe now he has seen the light. So please, once again, thank you very much. Congratulations to seniors, congratulations to Commissioner, and congratulations to my brother Judge. Welcome to the bench. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Judge. I had warned you earlier on that after you eat, you'll have to say something. So I have kept my promise. I'm not going to invite Justice Njoroge to speak, because I appreciate that he's still very new, and maybe he might start giving us speeches that he used to give when he was an advocate. But I think there's a role he'll play on the program. And I'm very sure we'll have, traditionally we've had homecomings. So I'm sure something will be done. So let's not take the speech away today, but you have a role to play. So with those remarks, then I would like to invite Justice Njoroge to come and invite our guests of honor and handle that part of the program. Then we'll proceed from there. Let's appreciate him, please.
Thank you very much. For those who have not met me lately, let me introduce myself. My name is Mr. Justice Benjamin Njoroge. But for purposes of the court proceedings, kindly, because there is another Judge Benjamin Musyoki, so I have adopted the name Njoroge Benjamin. And there's an initial K, because that K stands for something, and it's an important name, it's an important part of my name. Now, I have been requested that we appreciate the members whom we had thought would be with us when we were planning this event in the year 2020. I actually remember we paid a visit to one of the members, Mr. Pandya, during the period when COVID had come. And Mr. Pandya made a prophetic call and he said, this COVID has come to sweep us. And surely it didn't. It actually took him away. So if we could rise and take a minute, and in that minute, kindly remember the colleagues who are not here. We all know them by name. They are all people we practiced with. We fought good battles with them in court. So let's bow our heads and remember them. Thank you very much. You can take your seats. And as we take our seats, Chair Natasha has arranged an event in the month of May, end of May. I'm sure Justice Sewe, the program will be coming out soon. We have had a tradition in Mombasa of remembering our colleagues when they transition. Now, I'll only do two things. One is to apologize for those who have had to congratulate me this afternoon, those who have had to congratulate me twice. There is a real judge and there is a masquerader in our midst. But if you want to know the distinction, there is a judge who is dressing the way I used to dress when I was your chairman. But now there is a judge who is dressing knowing that the employer is in the house. So thank you so much, Sospita, for taking some of the accolades. Thank you very much. Now, the other one is to appreciate. We had singled out 10 senior advocates to appreciate today. Some are here with us. Some are not here with us for various reasons. The ones I'm going to call out first have given a very good reason for lawyers who were admitted in 1979. They are not drafting any pleadings, but they're actually doing grandchildren sitting duties. So allow us to appreciate the 10th senior most lawyer in Mombasa, and that would be Shishir Gaur, who is not with us. Let's appreciate him. Mr. Shishir Gaur is P105-1038 of 1979. Mr. Gaur was swiftly followed by the love of his life. You know, in Mombasa, that's the only place where we have gentlemen in this bar. So when he came to admission, he stepped backwards so that Pravina Gaur could take the front row. And Pravina Gaur is P105-1029 of 1979. Let's appreciate her. Then we have another senior, and I'm going to request him to say a word, but after I go through this list. The swiftly followed, I believe this must have been the same admission, Mr. Kishore Nanji, P105-1010, 1979. You know, those Kibara, you remember those old days, we all fought to be employed by Mr. Nanji, but he could only take one of us, and you always bought your assistants motor vehicles when the rest of us were walking. Munakumbuka haya mambo. Then there is Okuthe Derek Charles. We call him Okuthe DC. P105-917 of 1977. Let's appreciate him. A lot of criminals from Likoni would be in trouble. Want it for they will be in Shimolata, want it for Mr. Okuthe. Thank you very much. We had a gentleman whom we thought would be with us today. Unfortunately, he was informed that they do not serve Jahe in this club. Mr. Kere, you need to do something about it. That is Mr. Gachaku Gakuhi, P105-891 of 1977. The only advocate who can lend you 100,000 shillings in cash on any given day. Let's appreciate him. He receives his fees in cash. Then we have another senior who is actually an ancestor, Mr. Japheth Asige. I'm told he was the first I was about to say the first African advocate, and remember, we are all Africans here, aren't we? So let me say the first ancestor from Western Kenya before Mr. Charles Opulu. So he's P105 817 of 1976. Let's appreciate him. There was a lull until 1973. 1973 saw the entry of Mr. Oshwin Kana. Mr. Oshwin Kana gave me a glowing letter of recommendation for those who want to apply for this job. Najua kuna watu wenye kismat, wakikuwekelea mkono, unapita. He did a wonderful job. So P105 709 of 1973. Let's appreciate him. Then there was a 2-year lull, and then the lady of the house entered. Mrs. Gudka, I'm told you changed the terrain completely in the courtrooms of Mombasa. They didn't even have a ladies' washroom for advocates before she landed into town. If there were any washrooms, they would probably have been for only one gender. They were only used to one gender. And she didn't make it easier for the gentlemen because she wore trousers. It was scandalous then. So Suhas Gudka, P105 584 of 1971. Just a small story. The first matter I did with Mrs. Gudka, I lost. And she gave me a settlement, and I said no. I was fired up. I was a young advocate. She told me, young man, take this settlement. I said no. She floored me. There was no mediation then. Since then, I have been an ardent believer in mediation, and I settle all my matters with her. So moving swiftly forward, a senior that we are all missing today, we thought he would be here with us, Dr. John Mukalasinga Haminwa, P105 565 of 1970. Let's appreciate him. Still practicing. Last week he was appearing in court. He still has his mojo on. It's amazing. And then the last senior, who for those of us who know, could definitely not have been with us today, but he's with us in spirit, and I'm sure someone will be able to take the recording to him, is Mr. Magnan Lahori Jethanad. Among the few lawyers who have made dollar billions in practice, P105 148 of 1958. Still with us, still strong. Let's appreciate him. So I've taken longer than I was supposed to. Mr. Kishore Nanji, karibu sana, and say a few words. Then we'll be followed by Mr. Oshwin Kana, and then Mrs. Gudka will close for us. You can come over here. Let's appreciate Mr. Kishore Nanji. I know most of you don't have to be told this. When you have a matter with Mr. Nanji, kindly settle, please.
Well, what I can say is that I'm really touched for the Law Society honoring me. I nearly did not settle in Mombasa. I actually was thinking of going back to the UK because I came from, I was born in Nakuru, and I left Nakuru in 68 and went to London to do further studies. And when I lost my dad in 1976, I came back and decided to continue my career in Mombasa. So I came for an interview at Bryson, Inamdar and Boya. And I was interviewed by Mr. Inamdar and Mr. Bryson. And I had already done a degree in law. I had become a barrister at Lincoln's Inn. And I had even done some pupillage in England and also worked in a solicitor's firm. So when I was interviewed, they offered me 3,000 shillings per month. And I said, there's no way I can, survive on that. I need a car and I need AC and all these kind of things. And they said, listen, young man, you are not qualified so far as Kenya is concerned. But this is the firm which will take you everywhere. The sky is the limit. And I said, no, I don't think I can really accept that. I think I'll go back to UK. So I left, and next morning, Mr. Inamda rang a relation of mine and said, tell that young man he can have another 500 shillings. And that's what impressed me of my interview, Mr. Inamdar and Mr. Bryson, that I decided, let me give it a go. And that's how I started my career in Mombasa. And I've had an amazing journey. I'm really grateful to all my colleagues for being so respectful to me all over these years. And I've always believed that if you can get a good settlement, you shouldn't do a hearing. And I strive for that. And I still encourage my clients and all the young people, young lawyers, that this is the way to go. So I hope they heed my advice. And I can only say thank you very much for all the cooperation and all the respect that you have given me for all these years. Thank you very much.
I think where we come from, we say when you do a good deed, it always comes back. You can see it has all come back to Mr. Nanji. Mr. Oshunkana, we can hear from you. Let's appreciate Mr. Oshunkana. He hasn't worn a wig in court the last 20 years or so. Thank you.
Thank you, Justice Njoroge, for this. I am, like my friend and colleague Kishore, extremely grateful, and I'm very blessed, not only to be with you all and for this recognition, but the fact that I have taken on this profession as a litigator. And my journey takes me back a long way, and I am again most grateful for the fact that I have now completed 50 years, over 50 years, and I'm still able to continue in practice. I've been asked to retire many times, and I have tried, but as all colleagues will appreciate, lawyers find it very difficult to retire. But Kishore was a former colleague, a former partner of mine. I also joined Bryson in Amdemboya. I go back to the times when I joined the law school because my father was a lawyer. And as a result, I was influenced to take on law, and I joined the Kenya School of Law, and we were the first batch to go to the university when the faculty opened in 1970. There were only 16 of us, and I believe all 16 did extremely well for their ability and competence in taking on this profession, and which they all did justice and honor. I cannot name them all, but there are many who are judges. My particular gratitude goes to the Law Society, MLS Mombasa, having spent most of my time in Mombasa after leaving Nairobi. And I am most appreciative of the hard work that's been put in by the council and the chairperson, Natasha Ali. I'm grateful to be invited, and I'm most honored. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Let's appreciate the wisdom of Mr. Oshwin Kana. Has been helpful to many of us. Now, Mrs. Gutka, is it okay? I can come over there? Okay. So let's stand up and appreciate the senior most advocate at Mombasa presently. The lady who litigates with the fury of 10 women, not 10 men, Mrs. Suhas Gutka. Karibu sana.
As someone said, protocol is going to waste a bit of time, so I won't go through the entire protocol, but I have to recognize with the presence with us here of the justices, including the new kid on the block, as someone said, somebody who was our learned friend until very recently. He's no longer a friend. Learned, yes, but he's no longer a learned friend. Congratulations. We are very, very happy to see you go up there. Now, I think he talked about the time, his first litigation, and how I floored him. He floored me this afternoon. Never had indicated to me that I would have to come up here, face all of you with a mic in my hand. However, as somebody earlier said, there are no free lunches. Lunch has to be paid for, so I will give my dues for this very enjoyable lunch. As I said recently, at the very sad passing away of a friend of mine, who's a single lady living all by herself in Mombasa, somebody from Europe who had no kith and kin, and a lot of things were said about how entirely on her own she was, alone, without any family, next of kin, etc. I differed from all of that, and I said, no, she had a much larger family. The friends who were gathered there in a big number to say goodbye to her. This is what is so unique about this thing called family. You have your own immediate blood-related family, but you also have families of all different types, different fraternities, different affinities. This is our large legal family, and I'm so pleased to have been a part of this large family. Like in every family, you come and join and learn from those who were there before you. You also leave a little bit for those who come after you. And if I have had that little privilege of being able to give back a little, leave something for someone who comes after me, I feel most privileged because I learned a lot from my seniors. Mr. C.K. Kanji, all of you possibly know Vikram Kanji. Vikram Kanji's father was my senior, my mentor, my friend, philosopher, guide, and my elder brother. Treated me like a younger sister, took me under his wing, and put me through the entire ropes of this profession. It suited us very well. He was just losing his litigation partner, somebody even more senior to him. There were just the two of them in that firm, C.A. Patel, who was retiring. I was interested to start litigation practice. Mr. C.K. was really and totally a commercial man, so it suited us very well. It worked very well for us, and we've continued for a long time until he retired. I retired as a partner about 10, 12 years now, but I have continued being attached to the firm of A.B. Patel and Patel as a consultant. Obviously, as a consultant, now I have a lot more time, but I still looked forward to the day when I'm in town, going to my office to be greeted by partners, the staff. Everyone in the office treats me like part of the family. It is a family, second home for me. So this is how we develop our personal relations. It has nothing to do with blood relations. It's got everything to do with this affinity that you have, this bond that you create, and that bond lasts for a long, long, long time. Someone here said how she came to me to get ideas on her pleadings and that I was able to help her. I'm very grateful to hear that. But you came, Mercy, with your own fresh perspective. I'd been in the business for a long time. You came with your fresh perspective. You asked me some searching questions. Sometimes I didn't have immediate answers, and I had to look up, brush up, and then come back to you. So I helped you, but you helped me equally. Seniors, juniors, as someone said, I think Justice Odonga said, we learn from each other. Learning never stops. Learning never stops. And what keeps you going is this if I can use little big words, this intellectual curiosity about learning. I hope all of you continue displaying that because that's one big reward of this profession. You never stop learning. That intellectual curiosity takes you in all directions, in all kinds of ways. One other thing that I hope you will have learned from your seniors, and I hope you will continue bearing the rest of your life in this career. It's good to have knowledge of law. It's good to have the ability to fight. It's good to have this interest of client at heart, but there should also be the understanding of your opponents. If they have a problem, a difficulty, that can be resolved without doing any harm to your own client's interest, please be open to look at it. It not only helps your opponent, it resolves the issues and thereby brings the litigation, the problem to a closer, more expeditiously than any of the rules of civil procedure. It's your attitude to how you wish to conduct your life in this matter, in this profession, that ultimately really decides whether you are just a good lawyer or a good lawyer with a larger perspective on the profession. Not just your client's interest, but serving the justice of the matter. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We appreciated Mrs. Gurka. Ladies, we have someone to emulate. Allow me to just say two words, just two in closing. This is, Kibara, this is how it used to be, isn't it? This is the society that we joined when I landed in this town in 1996. This is how things were done. So as we leave today, please spread that message. Let the younger bar feel that there is another group of 20 plus waiting to welcome them and enjoy and have fun with them. That is one. Now, when you're a judge, you can say these things because hata mkiniweka kwa WhatsApp group, mimi siko huko, sivyo? There's something more than Man United, isn't it? And we love this. Secondly, I truly am humbled by the Mombasa Bar. And you really have no idea. If I had gone to practice in Nakuru or my hometown of Thika or Kiambu, I doubt whether I would have been standing here telling you I'm a baby judge. The job, I know you said I'll have a party, it's okay. The party will come, but for now, allow me to say this. I was sent a screenshot of my constituency Facebook page, and they said in French, huyu mwana wefue, huyu ni wetu. But the truth is, I owe this position to the Mombasa Bar. Si hapo ndio mnapiga makofi. I owe it to the Mombasa Bar. And I know the judiciary will be recruiting again. I do not speak for the judiciary. My bosses are here. But there's a lady seated at the corner there, my former boss, and our sister now, Anna Madi. The judiciary is a very, very intelligent institution. Contrary to what I had always thought, I thought when the doors are closed, when they close that gate there, I thought they go home and nothing else happens. Now that I'm inside, I'm seeing the judiciary is continuously working all the time. Commissioner, sio nukweli? It's a big, big institution. They have a lot of information. So wewe fanya kazi yako, tengeneza application yako, omba Mungu na ukae na watu kwa amani. Ambwere, be nice to the ladies. Thank you very much.
Ambwere, you have something to take home, eh? This lunch has, it's not a wasted lunch. Thank you very much, Judge. You've done very well because according to the program, you are supposed to finish off at 2:30, and it's 2:30. So I think you are starting off very well. I think even your courtroom will be very organized. The next part, I don't know whether to introduce myself because I think a lot of people have been floored. Senior Goodka said she's been floored because she was not told she was going to speak here. The other day I was in the office with Mr. Uma, and he asked me, "Are you going for the luncheon?" I said, "I had not." No, he asked me, "Have you joined the group?" I had not joined. Then he said, "But there's a role you are playing there." So, Madam Chair, thank you very much for giving me a job without my knowledge. So when I joined the group, then I opened the program, then I saw I'm supposed to do something here. So I learned this, I think, yesterday. But I think it comes with the trade. As advocates, we are always ready to take up the opportunity and fit the bill. I have been asked to say something about a walk down memory lane. And my memory lane is also quite long. It's not as long as others. Ashwin, when you were being admitted, I was 5 years old. That is how the distance is. But I'll talk about memory lane through instances that I've gone through in my practice, now 31 years, together with Dr. Deche. Number one, when we were forming the partnership that we are in now, that is Kuto, we did something very radical. We decided to kill 5 law firms and form one. And at that time, I hope now he will not take offense, but at that time, Past Chairman Opulu, he said, "You guys are joking." In fact, he said it's a pack of cards. And it looked like. But one thing I remember, and I'm picking up from what Senior Goodka said, I went to see Ashwin. She may remember, I may not remember, but I went and sat with him in his office just to ask how running a partnership is. And he was very generous with the information. He gave me a lot of insights. We discussed. That time we were deliberating how to go about this. So I'm just picking up to say that one thing that I've learned from practice is that we have or had this tradition where we're not very selfish with sharing experiences. And that was achieved a lot during the regular coffees that we would have when you leave court. You do a case in court, you are floored, and then you don't go back to the office straight. You pass somewhere and have some coffee. And most of the time it will be with the advocate who has floored you. Of course, it's moderated a bit because there are others. So because if you are just the two of you, you can put something in his tea or her tea. But that session enabled you to reconcile yourself to your successes, your failures, and sometimes you hear other people's experience and you know that even they are flawed even more. So you learn that it is not the end of the world and that you will not always win. Sometimes you lose, sometimes you win. I recall, and this was always very notorious, most of the time in December, just after 12, you close the office and disappear from town until I think February. You used to use the excuse that the High Court is on vacation, so there's no business. But that's the time when one person who I'm sharing this session with, Gikandi, would obtain an injunction. And you know your Christmas is ruined. So you can't travel. You can't travel because now he's there, he's obtained, and he's very energetic about it. And I like because of his energy. I think so if there's anything about Gikandi is his energy. I think he's been around, and there's a lot some of us have learned from him. That you come back, you keep coming back. And I don't think, I'm not saying Gikandi retiring because it might even cause health problems to him because to him and to his family, because if he sits in the house, I think it'll be very problematic. They will even try to get his office to run so that he can stay away. And but something else that has come out of Justice Odunga's statement, I think, about mediation. You know, when you look at going back down memory lane, there is a danger of thinking back and thinking in the past and not thinking forward. And I think that's where sometimes we lose it, because we could sit here sometimes and lament how the times were good, how the young advocates respected, how, you know, that, and you just keep talking how it was, and within no time, you forget going forward. So I still believe that there is a lot going forward, and it's based on that back where we come from. And especially in this area of mediation, as you all know, I'm an arbitrator, I also do mediation, and a number of us seniors here, if we were to take up active mediation, the kind of resolutions that will be done, the kind of matters that will be settled, and for you it comes as second nature. Actually, it's not something you'll go read anywhere. You already have it, and you already command the respect of the young advocates. And you also have the discipline and ability to look above the petty issues. So I think for me, as I said, I started off by saying I was 5 years when Ashin was admitted. I came to him, he mentored me on starting the farm. Now he's here in the same platform. So basically it means that we all have something for each other, and we keep onboarding the younger members of the fraternity. The bigger thing that I hope will be continued by the society is this kind of get-together. I think we've lost so much. We've lost so much as advocates. We've lost our advocacy skills. We've lost our people skills. And I think a lot of the instances we are seeing today about mental health, something that was never a topic. It was never a topic because you had gone to law school, you've done very well, society looks up to you. So we never really cared about anything. But now, a lot of our younger advocates are suffering, struggling. And it's because they have become insular. Everybody is around his laptop and his mobile phone. There is no interaction. So I really hope that the Law Society can, especially for the seniors. I know the chairperson told me one thing she liked about the seniors is that when you call them, they show up. But the younger ones, you really have to whip them. Those ones who are here, you'll excuse me, but we can start with us. Let us have this kind of get-together. Let us interact. And as Gudka said, let us realize that we are a bigger family than our relations. I normally have this challenge, and I've shared with some of my colleagues. the worst thing to be in a family is to be an advocate, because everybody borrows money from you. But they borrow, they don't pay. They just borrow. They just borrow, they don't pay. And then, but when you try to borrow from them, first they don't have, and if they have, they come back for it with vengeance, with a lot of anger. So we have to be our keepers, our brother's keeper, our sister's keeper. Within us ourselves here, we support each other, and therefore we grow the profession. So I think those were my thoughts. Going back, going forward, there's still a lot to be done. And if Ashwin is still here, and Kishore with still a very clear mind at his age, it means even me, I have some, I don't know, maybe 30-something years. Looking at how they're doing it, I'm also going to do it. So thank you very much. I'll invite Gikandi to also make a few comments, and then we proceed the program.
Good afternoon, everyone. Now, all protocol observed, and since we are told that going through the protocol takes away unnecessary time, let me just go straight to the point by first recognizing that in this gathering here that we have not recognized the presence of Professor Sarah Kenyajui. If she can start, please. Thank you so much. We also did not recognize the presence of one of my very good friends who also wants to be very, very soon called a professor, but is now at the level of a doctor, Dr. Degwa Wamute. Now, just in case that some of you may not know, Professor Kenyajui, Dr. Wamute, and quite a number of other advocates here are the ones who run the university, the law faculty, and indeed we want to acknowledge them because they are part of us and they are doing a very, very good thing in taking care of the young ones as they try to join the profession. Now, a walk down memory lane, I think after having had our seniors, Mrs. Gudka, Mr. Kana, Mr. Naji, after having had them, it becomes very, very difficult for some of us to now stand here and say whatever you have to say. But a few things I want to say. One, when I came here in Mombasa in 1984, joined Mr. Stephen Kaptele Maina Mwangi, SKM Mwangi, the only man who would be called as he walked along the corridors of the court on a very complex criminal case, get in there, listen to the witnesses, make a thorough cross-examination that even my good friend today, Jared Magolo, who is not able to master, even up to now. Stephen Kaptele Maina Mwangi. When I joined him, I found my seniors here, and I must say that they have taken very good care of us. So to our seniors, asanteni sana. Thank you so much. Now, on our part, I would say that from myself, the first pupil that I got, who later joined me, worked with me for about 5 years, was Mr. Justice Daniel Musinga. Worked with him, we trained him, worked with him, and then later he opened his farm here and did very well. So starting from Mr. Musinga, we then were joined by my good brother here, Francis Kiarie Kariuki. Francis? Now, when people compare the practice of Kiarie Kariuki and Gekandi and company advocates, some of them believe that Kiarie Kariuki was my employer. My good brother, thank you very much. I'm very proud of you. Let me not say much about my other student, Bwana Joroge. Joroge, smama. This was another student of mine, and he has done very well. Now, starting from there, Wameo, I'm coming to him because, you know, I really want Wameo to join the bench. So I want to say a few good things about him later on. Now, I was later then joined by other colleagues who I trained. Mugatana, who is now a senator. I was then joined by Daumas Omondi, who is a judge, and I really expected that the good judge would have been here today. Daumas Omondi. Later on, Christopher Nzili, also a judge, and I'm very, very proud of him also. And last but not least, Justice Noel Adagi. And I remember the day that Justice Noel Adagi came to ask for pupillage in my office, together with Patricia Langat, two very young girls that time. Now I can't say that because she's a judge. Very young, and that time my place was so full. So I told them, we will pick a coin. We will toss a coin because I do not know any of you. We will toss a coin, you take head, the other one takes tails. Then whoever whose side is on head, that's the one I'll take. And one of them did not pass. So she started crying, one of them. I will not say who was crying. And therefore, I was now forced to take both of them. And I'm very, very happy. The other day, I called her and I said, Noel, now you are a judge of the High Court. I am so happy for you. So what I want to say is this, to all and each one of us today. Nowadays, professor and doctor here are churning out thousands of students. So my appeal to you today is, if you are taking 2 students before, start taking another 2, have 4. If you are taking 4, have 8. Because if we don't do it, where are those students going to go to? If you are seated here, sorry, and I did not come to embarrass anybody here. If you are seated here today, and you are at 20 plus, and in those 20 years, you have not nurtured and trained any student, then I say, please let us change, start taking students, and when you take them, train them the best way you can. I always tell my students that the only thing that you can inherit from me is what is up here. If you can get that, I am sure that very soon you will be a Kiarie Kariuki, you will be a Joroge Mwangi, you will be a Daniel Musinga, you will be a Judge Christopher Nzili or Daumas Omondi. Let us inculcate in ourselves the idea that it is possible that your student can do better than you. It is not a question of a competition here. And if we do that, I am sure that we're going to do very big things for our profession. Now, let me talk about my very good brother, a man that I hold in very high esteem, a man like no other, William Onyango Wameo. Where is he today? Ndugu yangu, how are you? Now you know, nowadays you don't send me messages. That's why you, yeah? That is William Onyango Wameo, one of my very bright students who I trained. We worked together. Later, that time I used to have offices on the 11th floor and 13th floor. I can see that Mr. Anada remembers that because we used to be in Bima Towers together. And I realized that managing the two places was not going to be easy. So I got my good sister here, Grace Okumu. Grace Okumu. And that time they were partnering with Bwana William Wameo. So I told them, this 13th floor, with whatever facilities that are there, take it, run with it. Is that what we did, Grace? Yes. And I'm happy that they went on with it. We didn't even talk about any monetary consideration because some of these things, you don't just turn them into money. So, Mr. Wameo, over the years, we have had occasion to be on one side, fighting on the same side, other times fighting against one another. But I tell you, if we have one good advocate in this room, it is William Onyango Wameo. And I tell you that I am not able to understand, Bwana Commissioner, brother, there is your man. There is your man. When we next hear of judges being appointed, at least from my salvage point of view, I am trying to have a list of 8 or 9 judges who have passed through me. So please remember Wameo. Yeah. And I say that not because I know of the quality that he has, and he is a man of the highest integrity. So that much I can say. Now, let me move on to something else. As we talk about the memory lane, let me say this, that Mr. Uma is looking at his watch. I'm sorry. The problem is that in my earlier life, I used to be a politician, so please give me only 2 more minutes. Now, when we started here, when we started those early years on, when we used to have people falling sick or people losing their relatives, we would join together one evening, raise whatever amount of money we could raise, and then send our relatives, to help. And now we realize that we have become so many, and of course there are so many problems, so we have formed something called MAWA, that is Mombasa Advocates Welfare Association. And there are a number of things that are happening there. We started that, Job took it over, ran with it, and now we have a gentleman called Joel, otherwise known as Jewel or Diamond. Jewel, please come and say 1 or 2 things about that, because it's important for us. Very, very important that we sell this product.
Thank you very much. Where is the chair? Liz. Yeah. I'm the immediate outgoing chair of the Mombasa Advocates Welfare Association. And since we have a chair, bendera ikishukishwa, you have to accept. So I invite our current chair, Liz Aroka. And by the way, the Mombasa Advocates Welfare Association is not just for advocates. We have judicial officers, judges who are our members. So it's open to everybody, Mr. Carlo. So let our chair speak. I just handed over to her about 2 weeks ago. Thank you.
I thought you'd hold my breath. Good afternoon. All protocols observed. As has been said, I've also been ambushed. I didn't expect that I would be called to say a word or 2. But as it is, our training as lawyers is that you have to be ready to speak when you're called upon. So I want to thank you for acknowledging the presence of MAWA. We are on a massive recruitment campaign, and I'm sure I've harassed a few of you as you walked in. I would say, hi, how are you? I've come to onboard you on my back. We have to move forward as a welfare. So because of time, I know some of us are still going to work. We have an information desk right by the registration area. And our mandate is to take care of the welfare of all lawyers in Mombasa, and has been rightfully put by my predecessor. We do not only look at advocates in active practice. We welcome our colleagues in the ODPP,
AG, the trustees, and even the judiciary. So right now, the main running product is a last expense, a last rites funeral cover, to take care of us in that unfortunate event of bereavement. We know what is happening now with WhatsApp groups. We are all getting fatigued when you get added and you're thinking, wow, I need to remove another 3,000, 4,000, and there may be multiple groups, as many as 5. It's becoming difficult. And people who are now going through unfortunate seasons of bereavement are getting a burden. Just getting people to come help you take your loved person home. So this product is running. We are currently recruiting until the 23rd of May, which is next week, so that you can onboard more members. And we have a lot in the pipeline, including negotiating for a group medical cover for our members. I know those of us in the OB farms, I know most of you are Ivy League, but those in the OB farms, maybe you're just 1 or 2 partners. We probably don't get the benefit of getting to negotiate for good medical cover, and it becomes a big challenge, especially when one gets sick. So we have these, and you're also negotiating with various service providers so that you can even get discounts at various merchant distribution points. So I humbly seek that join MAWA. We have a desk there. If you need the forms, the physical forms, please pick, go and fill in. The covers are very competitive, as little of 2,200 for the whole year, and you're covered. You get your check of 200,000 upfront within 48 hours. 200,000 is not little money, if you can be able to get it. And that gives you a head start. Even if you call us to come to that WhatsApp group, you already have something to get you. You have premiums also where you can get a payout of 500,000. And you can imagine what 500,000 can do for you when you have a situation of bereavement. Or even if it's you yourself. You know we are wakilis, a quick one wakili. And we expect that when it's you who's gone, we expect proper things, not a 3-day mourning period. And there's no food to eat, especially when you come from where my former chair, Opulu, comes from. So, well, I'm just making light of the situation, but these are very grave issues. They are serious issues, and it's good for us to prepare for the unfortunate event. Just as we encourage our clients to do wills, though I know some of us, we don't have wills, let us also just be alive to this and make the journey more easier. So I'm available. Should anyone need more information, I'll be happy to provide the same. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I think I am done. Only to conclude by saying, we have seen the Mombasa Law Society grow from a very, very small unit to now something that is big, massive, something that is large. I think I am very, very happy with the current officials that we have, led by Natasha and her team. I think they are doing a very great job. I think makofi kwao. But as I sit down, my request is, please make this an event that we do it at least twice a year. Yeah? Sio leo tu, twice a year. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Asanteni sana. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Job.
Thank you, Gikandi. Just before we go to the next session, I'm informed that we have 2 messages from Justice Ogola and Justice Omondi Dalmas. So if there's somebody who has them, just come forward, please. I think we can go through that, then proceed. SG?
In charge of Mombasa, Honorable Justice Sewe, colleagues and friends, all protocol observed. Good afternoon. It gives me great pleasure to join you, even though remotely, for this lunch in honor of our senior colleagues of the bar at Mombasa. Please accept my apologies for not being able to join you in person and to sample the familiar coastal delicacies. As you would imagine, I have had course lists the whole week, and I couldn't figure out an acceptable way of obtaining permission from Kakamega court users to allow me to travel to Mombasa to feast. And so here I am at my desk. How time flies. It is only recently, in 1997, that I was a pupil of the indefatigable Mr. Gikandi Ngibweni. I look back now, and it is as clear as yesterday. We exhaustively walked the corridors of the Mombasa law courts, both mornings and afternoons, and argued our briefs. Many an injunction was obtained ex parte, extracted, and served on such afternoons. Beyond the thrilling reward of a quick injunction, we also labored patiently to the day judgments were delivered. Until January 2016, I never imagined that I would leave Mombasa one day. I saw myself practicing and aging gracefully along those historic corridors of justice of the Mombasa law courts. But here we are. Change is often a mystery. Even maturing in practice and joining the category of senior colleagues is a mysterious process, or in fact event. We have to work harder to understand and collaborate with our younger colleagues. Seniority brings with it a wealth of wisdom, experience, and legal acumen. Thus, senior colleagues are not just legal practitioners, they are mentors, guides, and torchbearers. Our younger colleagues expect a lot from us. Often, we will deliver on this expectation by our silent example. If necessary, we may use words, but the power of good example will be our greatest asset. I wish you all the best as you continue your pursuit of justice and your efforts to inspire colleagues, both young and, in fact, fellow senior colleagues. Bon appetit.
Thank you. Let's appreciate Justice Dalmas. I think we have one more.
Members of the senior bar in Mombasa. I want to join myself with you as to celebrate today, the day of the luncheon of senior members of the bar in Mombasa. It was my idea when I was in Mombasa that we have lunch with senior members of the bar. This was sometime in the year 2020, but due to lack of time, it was never possible for us to do that. I am actually pleased that a time has come to bring the members of the senior bar together. Unfortunately, during that time, we have lost quite a number of our senior members, including Mr. Sochak, including Mr. Sachu, Mr. Pandya, Mr. Nyanzwa, and several others. But that does not stop us from still coming together and celebrate our seniors. By seniors, I mean those who have been in private practice for the last 20 years and above, and we are many. Behind us are also middle bar and junior bar. We must encourage them to work hard so that they also become senior members of the bar. Mombasa is a very beautiful place. Mombasa is a nice place. Mombasa is our home. This lunch is taking place behind the background of additional 3 judges which have been appointed from Mombasa. That is Justice Mamuye, Justice Njoroge, and Justice Adagi. This is a milestone which we must all be proud of. I am proud of Mombasa. I am proud of the coast. And as you can see, all of us who have left Mombasa or who have left the coast are doing just fine. So work hard. Join us if you can. If you can't join us, we are still together. Deliver the dream of Kenyans. Mombasa Senior Bar, enjoy your lunch and we are together.
Thank you very much. That was Justice Ogola. At this point in time now, I just want to invite our sponsors, main sponsors, to just for some comments. I mean, just to pitch. I'll start off with Absa Bank. We have Elizabeth Kathet here.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. All protocols observed. My name is Elizabeth Katethia from Absa Bank. On behalf of myself and Absa Bank, I want to bring our greetings to all of you and to just express our gratitude for including us in this occasion. We are very grateful that you chose to partner with us. I think as a bank, we have many lawyers in our book, in our base, clientele base. So we are very grateful for the partnership that we've enjoyed. I think Absa Bank and maybe then Barclays Bank, we've been in this market for over 100 years. And for all these years, we've really worked with members of this society and lawyers in particular. Just to mention but a few points, we have a recent product that is very, very attractive and mostly for young lawyers. I know most of the people here are seniors, but we have a product that supports equity financing for young lawyers who want to become partners or who want to start their firms. So for me, it's just to let you know that we have that product, and it's actually an overdraft that is evergreen. It is open as long as you are in that firm, because of course it will be backed by the firm. So just know we have that, and of course our work, where I come from is we have the segment, we have a segment we call Premier Banking. It is a relationship managed business. So we take care of clients' needs from maybe accounts to savings to investments. We have local, we have offshore investments. So mine is just to invite those who have not worked with us to come and see what we have in store. Our promise to you is that we will give you value for your money, and we will walk you the journey. We realize that lawyers are very busy, and you need someone, you need a banker to work with you, and that is what we are offering you. So feel free to reach out to us. We are out here. We also have a segment for business banking. We have a business banker out here. So to take care of your business needs, the legal firm needs. So feel free to talk to us. Otherwise, we are very grateful and we look forward to future partnerships. So we are here, we are open, and we will be coming to you. And we are also open for you to come to us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Elizabeth. You are actually talking to the right people, because they are the ones who will make the decision to give out the equity before they invite the incoming partners. We have from DIB Bank, James Induli.
Good afternoon. All protocols observed. On behalf of DIB Bank Kenya, my colleagues and myself, and our management from Nairobi, we want to say a big thank you to the Mombasa Law Society for according us this chance to sponsor this very special event for the senior advocates in Mombasa. Big thank you from us. So who's DIB Bank Kenya? Just a small story about us. DIB Bank Kenya is a fully fledged Islamic bank operating in Kenya and a subsidiary of the Dubai Islamic Bank PJSC, whose head office is in Dubai. our bank is in 5 different countries: Dubai, Pakistan, Indonesia, Sudan, Kenya, and Bosnia. Our asset book is at $85 billion. Just to put it to put it in context of the Kenyan banking system, the Kenyan banking sector is worth 45 billion. So Dubai Islamic Bank is double the Kenyan banking sector. That's how big we are. I thought I'd let you know. Thank you. So, as a fully fledged subsidiary of Dubai Islamic Bank, we leverage our extensive expertise on global network to bring forth a diverse range of innovative and competitive products tailored to meet the unique needs of our customers here in Kenya. We offer a range of Sharia-compliant banking products and services to individuals, businesses, and institutions in Kenya, adhering to the Islamic finance principles. Since we started our operations in 2017, we have been able to open 6 branches, 4 in Nairobi and 2 in Mombasa. Mombasa, we have Moi Avenue and Bondeni, whereas in Nairobi, we have at Upper Hill, Banda Street, Eastleigh, and Sarit Center. As a bank, we are committed to providing you with excellence beyond our products and services through our exemplary customer service. We are constantly seeking ways to improve and enhance our customer experience to ensure that we support you even as we help you with any financial needs or questions you may have. Just let you know that we have a very good product for advocates. And I have some advocates here who have accounts with me. I know them personally from a while back. And just let you know that if we partner with yourselves, we'll be able to take care of your needs and do good for your businesses. Thank you so much. God bless.
Thank you very much, James. And finally, we have Rael Mutua from the LSK SACCO. I think we're doing well on the program, so please just bear with me. We should be able to finish on time as per schedule. Rael?
Our chief guests, honorable judges, seniors in the house, all protocol observed. Good afternoon. My name is Rael Kairuthi Mutua. I'm glad to be here this afternoon. It's a pleasure meeting all of us and in the spirit of honoring our seniors in the house. The Bible says in Ephesians chapter 6, verse 2, that honor your father and mother. This is the only command with a promise. So in the spirit of honoring our seniors this afternoon, it's my encouragement that we keep honoring them, that we may have a longevity of life. I want to admit that I was taken care of by the seniors when I came 2 years ago. I met first Senior Weloba, I met first Senior Jonah, Senior Motubia, and they showed me around the place. And I thank God I've settled and I've been serving well under your guidance. I must admit that the SACCO is growing with your support. We really appreciate your membership in the SACCO. And with your support, we pride to be at 4 billion of asset base. Our membership, we are at over 12,000 members. Our loan limit currently, that's the new one, we are doing 40 million. You can apply up to 40M for a maximum of 120 months. That's like our mortgage for the SACCO. And then we have member deposits of over 3.2 billion, and we are a Tier 3 SACCO. Basically, the SACCO is doing well, and we thank God. We are regulated by the SASRA since 2021, and we hit a 2 billion mark in 2020. I must mention a few benefits of being a member of the SACCO. We promote financial literacy to our members. We do webinars occasionally, like once in a quarter, and we educate our members on the benefits of our savings, and not only savings, but savings and credit. We are making the SACCO a one-stop shop, whereby you come and settle, you do all your financial needs at the SACCO, because out there, the rate of inflation and the rate of loans in other institutions are quite high. So we encourage all our members to make the SACCO your one-stop shop for all your financial needs. And then we do accessible and affordable credit, as I've said earlier, of up to 40M. Another benefit is that we do wealth accumulation for our members over time, that is. We shared ownership and governance to our members. And then we are member-centric. We have a member-centric approach to our members. We encourage a savings culture. We encourage community and networking. We encourage security and trusts. And then finally, we do land investments. You can buy land even for speculation. Maybe you don't need it now, but always land is appreciating. So you can do land investments with us. We'll usually share the projects that are new. I thank God for all of us, and it has been a pleasure serving you the last 2 years. This is my 3rd year in Mombasa, and I must appreciate all of us for your support and serving you and giving me the platform to serve you. It is said that serving humanity is serving God. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. You can pass by our customer care desk for more information. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rael. Just to pick up on where Rael has left before we go to the gifts and appreciating our guests, something I need to share with you, which I came across in the course of discharging my duties. I don't know how many of us have interacted with the money market and the products in the money market and insurance, especially the insurance companies and what they call the bond deposits. They are very, very good products for working out your pension. I know sometimes now, this is a conversation that is very relevant to all of us. And ideally, you should not retire when you've completely lost the energy to move around. But again, you should choose the time and how much you work. So please, maybe through the chair, and in this particular forum, I would want you to organize for somebody just to, whenever we meet next, to give a presentation about that. They are very, very interesting opportunities. Most of us have put our pension in pieces of land. And you know, when you retire, when that time comes, you may be desperate for 100,000 shillings. You cannot get a piece of land and cut out 100,000. But in the money market, those funds are available and they're still generating. So please take interest in that. Now we go to the penultimate session, which is basically to appreciate our guests. And I'll just call them out. I'll need some of you to help me give these presentations. We'll start with, excuse me. We'll start with the 3 most senior MLS members, and I will invite Justice Sewe to come and help me give the first person, who is Kishore Nanji. Please come. Let's have the camera here. Thank you. Thank you very much. Commissioner Mwanza to present to Senior Gudka. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now I'd like to invite Past Chairman Nyabena to please appreciate Justice Odunga for honoring the invite. I think it was not designed that, maybe you are making peace. Yeah, the value is less than 10,000. Thank you. Then I would like to invite Justice Benjamin Njoroge to gift Justice Sewe. Thank you very much. So I would like to invite Past Chairman Charles Opulu to present a gift to Honorable Carlo. Thank you very much. And I would like to invite Professor Sarah Nyanjui to give a gift to Commissioner Mwanza. Thank you. I would now like to invite Senior Lumatete to appreciate my schoolmate at different years, Duncan Mwanyumba, very jolly fellow. Duncan Mwanyumba doesn't age. I always see, he always looks the same. Now I'd like to invite Senior Mudhoni Gatere. This will be a gift to Shishir and Pravina. I think somebody will receive on their behalf. My Kungure? You had to appear somewhere. It's very difficult to contain Ngure. Thank you very much. In fact, sometimes I think it was a very wise move to elect him because it has cooled him down a bit. Sorry. And now, last but not least, I would like to invite Shazin Chatur to gift Honorable Anna Madi. And Mr. Madi, you'll just, I think I'll be very unkind to you not to let you say one or two words. Because these are among the first people that started moving from Mombasa and opening the path in Nairobi for a lot of us. And we appreciate you. Thank you very much. And of course, this function was very well organized. We want to appreciate the organizers. Sorry? Sorry. You always make a mistake at some point.
Thank you very much, Job. Senior Counsel, distinguished judges, colleagues, good afternoon. I'm so happy to be here this afternoon. Thank you so much for having me. When I came in this afternoon and saw so many faces that I found when I checked into Mombasa in 1994, I was very excited. And it just occurred to me that it's actually, 94 is how many years? 30 years? That's a long time. The babies that we got back then now have their own families, and that makes us truly senior. I left Mombasa in 2003 to go and work at FIDA. I worked at the Ministry of Justice. I did other things. And I ended up in the most difficult job on earth 10 years ago. And I just thank God that I was able to do the 10 years with a lot of difficulty. And one of the things that I learned from that experience was that it's okay to be imperfect, that it is okay not to get it right all the time. And I was so happy that I always got support from members of this, from the Mombasa team. As Justice Sewe said, Mombasa Law Society is special. You don't find these kinds of events in other branches. So thank you so much for just being who you are. I feel very much at home. I came specifically just for this event. I didn't have any other business in Mombasa. And so, of course, straight after this, I'll be going back. What am I going to do next? That's what everybody keeps asking. I don't know what I'm going to do next, but I'm just flowing with it and meanwhile enjoying myself. I look forward to interacting some more with all of us as we continue the afternoon, and may God bless you all so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think when you say very difficult work and very difficult times, I think you'll need to give us a few tips on how you manage to handle the swearing. That was a moment that I think was interesting for us. Yes, I forgot that I was supposed to speak. I think it's part of the age. I think they say when you grow old, you start losing memory, but I don't think so. It reminds you of what there are two gentlemen who are sitting on the beach, old gentlemen, whiling away and talking. Then they saw some ladies passing. Then one of them asked, you remember when we were young? Yes. Remember we used to run around after the ladies? He said, yes. Then after a short while, the other gentleman said, yeah. But can you remind me why are we running after them? So memory lapse. So I want to invite Anna Madi to come and appreciate Dr. Deche for assisting us and organizing and initiating this. We'll not stop giving you credit. Thank you very much. Then I would like to invite Kiari Kariuki to appreciate Justice Benjamin Njoroge. I think Kiari is also proud that one of his associates is now a judge. So alikunyima partnership ndio kuwe judge. Otherwise you'd not have become a judge. Then I would like to invite Pauline Osino to appreciate past chairman Matthew Nyabena. Thank you very much. Can I have another Chatur? Can you help? Just join them for cutting the cake. Normally during weddings, it's one very slippery moment when people make all manner of speeches about, but I think I'll just let them run with it the best way they can. This is the first time we are doing this. This luncheon for seniors. Yes. Even as I cut this cake, I think this is a very historic moment because we are starting something which is a long journey. So these four ladies and gentlemen are starting out on a very, very long journey. Congratulations to MLS. Congratulations to the seniors. The cake has reached all tables, I want to believe. So we want to wind up on the time that we are working with. So I'd like to call upon Elizabeth Wanjeri to make some remarks, closing remarks, and then actually she makes some remarks, then Obura will close off for us. Wanjeri is our LSK Coast representative. Can you appreciate her, please?
Good afternoon again. It's my pleasure to be here with you. And let me thank the organizers for giving me an opportunity to address you. Before I start with the closing remarks, I'd like to say thank you to all of you for supporting me to be elected as the LSK Coast representative. It was a grueling campaign. And they normally say if you want to lose weight, just fall in love with a Luo man and break up. But I can assure you I lost, when I started campaigning, I was 56 kilograms. Now I'm weighing 49 kilograms. So you can also add that to your loss weight program, LSK campaigns. But I'm very grateful that you gave me that opportunity, and I endeavor to serve you with honor and integrity. Now let me say thank you to all of you for attending this function. It has been an honor to have you. And it's always good because, like they say, seniors always show up when they're asked to show up. We are very grateful. Now, what we want to say is do not be intimidated by the number of the junior bar. They may be more than you in number, but you far outweigh them when it comes to the wisdom that you are going to give us. So that is a very important ingredient. And not to say in a bad way, but you will notice that since young lawyers started taking over LSK, and that happened a while back when I was a young lawyer then. So you realize that the standards actually started going down. So there is a place for everyone in the society. And it is good to appreciate that you have your place. Do not feel intimidated to give up in in giving up in matters LSK. We need you. We want your involvement. If you have any ideas, give them. Of course, even both at the national and the branch level, we will always welcome any ideas that you have to help the society move forward. So we thank you, we appreciate you, and thank you.
Okay, Ogura, just come and give a vote of thanks, and then thereafter, Abdulrahman Aminga, be on standby for the closing prayer.
Distinguished, we call you Senior Counsel because you deserve it. Even as, learned judges present, all protocols observed, there is one thing that we forgot to say when we were appreciating the Honorable Mr. Justice Njoroge. Can you approach the bench? There is one thing that I didn't hear being said here, and that is many of us are products of those three that you see there. I, for one, I was Mrs. Goodka's pupil. So something that I'm very proud of. I remember in my day one, I had been taken through the entire civil procedure, and that was done between the office and the courts. So when you talk of the fire, and because of that, in my year at the law school, I'm happy to say I was the best in the civil procedure because I sat at the feet of the very best. And today when we were queuing for food, I think it is Mr. Nanji who told me that you seem to like civil litigation a lot. And I told him I was Mrs. Goodka's pupil. What do you expect? So we are very proud of you. We thank you so much for taking your time to come and sit with us. For us, it's very refreshing. This thing called e-filing and the virtual court had separated us. In fact, I think it's long since I saw Mrs. Goodka. Did I say that I was her pupil? So, excuse me if I zero in on her. But thank you for taking your time. Thank you for what you have done to us. There are things you've done which cannot be quantified monetarily. And it is because of that that we are here today. I also want to thank the sponsors, those who have sponsored this function. We are very grateful to you. Because we've seen that you have more products that you couldn't explain today, I know our council will organize more functions so that you can sponsor and have more opportunity to talk to us. And I also want to thank the management for the club, the Mombasa Club or the Chini Club. Please pass our gratitude for hosting us here. And thank you all of us. I just want to say to the council, this was splendid. And I know, what you guys don't know is that what they are doing quietly is actually apologizing to the senior bar. You know the pain they took us through during the elections, eh? And what a better way to apologize other than with food. So thank you so much, give them a hand. So ladies and gentlemen, with those few remarks, thank you so much. I thank you all for Job. Those who do not know something about Weloba, in our younger days, he was the MC at large in every function. And I remember, I'll just say this one last thing and then I'll sit down. Job told me this joke about a man called Odongo. Now, Odongo is a name from my place. Now, Odongo came to Mombasa in search of life, so to speak. And then after a few months, he went back home and he was a bit loaded. Those days, Mombasa bado ilikuwa ya papasa. And so, everybody was awed. Wow, Mombasa must be so good. And he was telling them, Mombasa, everybody knows me. When you come, just come to the ferry and tell them you want Odongo. So one gentleman called him Otieno decided to follow Odongo in search of the fortune. So he goes to the ferry and he meets this old Digo gentleman and he tells him, Mise, mimi nataka nyumba ya Odongo. So the old man looks around perplexed. He doesn't know the Odongo. Then he tells him, mwanangu, hizi nyumba zote kutoka Likoni mpaka Lungalunga ni za udongo. Ladies and gentlemen, God bless you. Thank you.
We'll now humble ourselves for a word of prayer. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, in the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful, creator of this universe and everything that is therein. We thank you for the afternoon we have had and for all the interaction that we have had. Lead us in the straight path. Open our gates for success in everything that we do. Amen.
Okay, thank you. That brings us to the end of the function. Just an announcement, as we leave, there will be a group photo. I think the council members will lead us in that. So thank you very much, and thank you for enabling me to do my work.